Okay, this is an important video, and it'll make sense as we go. Tomorrow they're having casting in Chicago for Star Wars, okay? Now, Star Wars, most of you think that's a movie. It's not. It's what this whole thing is about. That's what this whole Saturn, Orion, the Pleiades, it's all got to do with that stuff. Okay? Saturn and Orion, you don't hear too much about that. You start talking about Orion, you see now that Matthew kid came out of the woodwork? There's other guys, they'll start coming out of the woodwork and start bashing you because you said the word Orion. See, because when I told you, it goes the moon, it goes Saturn, the moon, the earth. But before that, it's Orion. See, and then you get into Alpha Centauri and all of that shit in that area. There was a story before this story. When you think of Star Wars, at the end where the Death Star blew up, well, if you want to equate that, that's where the beginning of our Bible starts. And I'm not saying we're part of Star Wars in the essence of that particular movie, but where it said, let there be light, was the beginning of this reality, or the new Earth Age, or what science calls the Big Bang. That was the end of the other one. You might equate it to Lemuria and Atlantis, which incidentally, if you go study, they were big Saturn worshippers. How about that? Anyway, so let there be light was the beginning of this reality. It wasn't from the big creation, it was this one. And so they call it the Big Bang. It was because it was when we fell, when the Death Star blew up, or whatever the star was that's at the top of the Christmas tree, which is what that represents, the star, the connection that is no longer there. And so whatever this Big Bang that went off, okay, that was done intentionally, because if you've seen some of McCleary's stuff, you would know that, you know, the bottom line is that in the movie, the good guys blew up the Death Star to stop the bad guys. In reality, at least from what I'm getting, and I don't want to use my interpretation because this is has to be kind of more exact than that. The connection between us and the Father was severed because, for lack of a better word, they were tricked into it. So imagine the good guys on the ground blowing up the Death Star, thinking it was the bad thing, but in reality it was the good thing. I don't know, it's all flipped and backwards. It's fucked up. But it's interesting that they're saying, we don't want people with prior acting experience. We're looking for somebody between the ages of 18 and 30. Yes, there's your 9 and your 3. Right, to play Princess Leia. Well, if you know anything, she's got the 2 circles on the side of her head. Well, that's the thing that runs this place. That's Mom. That's the 2 gears, Gehenna, hell. All right. That's real important. Now this, let me jump over here. This is going back to a story that I did earlier this week or last week, where they found the alligator at the airport. Do you remember that? Okay, so now all of a sudden they've got video of it. They've got video, and here's the woman carrying the alligator, and she's bringing it, and she brought it to there, and she left it, but nobody knows who this mystery woman is. Here she is carrying it right here. Ooh, it's mysterious, and she's carrying Blue with an alligator. Blue with an alligator. The reptilian thing has to do with the serpent and Lilith in the Garden of Eden. Okay? The fake mom of this planet, the fake mother, the imposter. That's your reptilian. Okay? The big societies are aligned with that particular reptilian ideology. Okay? Their pillar is a blue pillar. Now, McCleary says some stuff about some other blue pillar, about 2 red ones being fake, and then there's really a blue one behind it. I think I get what he's saying, that they disguised some stuff, but this, her carrying this with the blue, and she's wearing the black, you see, of course, and she's a woman, which is the Lilith, and she can tell she has red hair, right? Well, they're saying, oh, we have no idea who he is. We would hope that she would turn herself in so that she can claim this and pay the penalties and fine. It's this bitch right here. I guarantee it without a doubt. They featured the show on Fox. This is the Fox News anchor. Listen to her name. Sandra, which is Sandy, Solarte. Solarte is the Latin word for sun. Okay? Sandy, sun. You know, we're talking, it goes back to the same thing. This is the, you know, this is worrisome here. Because when you start talking about Star Wars, you're talking about, you know, the Empire Strikes Back, and you're talking about that whole lineage of your imagination running of things that could happen. I guarantee you that this broad right here is this broad right here. I've been watching this shit for years. I know how fat this bitch has gotten over the years. I know that, look at the face structure is the same. She's got the same color hair, and it's featured on the same channel. Okay? Nobody was riding around in the subway with a fucking alligator hanging out their fucking hand. Or a crocodile. The crocodile is Sebek. Sebek is Saturn. Okay? Here it is as the woman, the destroyer. Okay? Even though they're androgynous, it's coming as it's representing Lilith and the woman and the correlation between those things. Okay? Just keep your eyes open. This is 2 times with the alligator in Chicago. And now they're talking about Star Wars. I mean, think about Star Wars for a minute. You know, we know that black is the color of Saturn, and we know that he's the god of fascism, right? So you got this big 6'6" guy wearing Saturn alien black, wearing a Nazi helmet, speaking through the Masonic triangle, and he's telling mankind, I'm your father. Telling Luke Skywalker, I'm your father. Right? I'm your creator. And then what does Luke do? He says, no, you're lying. You know the scene. Very poignant scene. Very Kabbalistic and very telling about what our reality is here. And incidentally, his helmet also represents a dick, which represents procreation and keeping things going. There's a whole lot of stuff. But the gist of it is he's representing Satan or Saturn or whatever you want to call him. And he's saying, I'm the one that created you, not the other dude. And so what does Darth Vader tell Luke Skywalker? He says, join me, and together we can defeat the Emperor, which would be the Father, which brings us back to the age-old story of all of us getting together and trying to storm the gates of heaven and trying to get in. Where we're here kind of because we already tried that once. Didn't work out real well. You see? So, treat you like a dog, but now we're ready to launch our offensive. We need your help. It's kind of like what the Jews do with the Christians when they need to invade a country. They say, oh, well, you know, Jesus was one of us, and you're doing it for a Christian cause called democracy. But when we don't need to invade a country, the Jews are like, get out of here, we hated Jesus because he was a liar and a fraud and he went against the law. You see how that kind of works? You see how that works? They fucking used us, and now they want to use us to try and side against the Father. Big mistake. We failed the first time. We picked a side that couldn't possibly win. I ain't doing that shit again. We all did that. You know, in one way or another. We've all done that. I ain't doing it again. They're going to kill us anyway. Fuck it. You can either be a willing idiot or you can be an unwilling idiot. I'm not just going to join in and get slaughtered. Fuck it. I'm just telling you, there's some funky shit going on here. This fucking bitch right here is this bitch right here. I know the face. I know the body style. I've been watching this for years making videos. Sandra Solarte. Yeah, right. Okay, let me know when Elvis gets here.